Hi, today we're going to take a look at a game Gufeld Kavalek from the Under 26 World Championships in 1962. In this position, White has just played King E2, and the material balance is that Black has 4 pawns for a piece, White has an extra knight. So I'll just show you that. White has an extra knight and Black has an extra 4 pawns. And White's just played the move King E2. Here, what do you think Kavalek played? Kavalek here played the brilliant Rook takes D2 check, and the idea is that these kingside pawns will become very dangerous after the removing of White's key defender, the knight. The knight does a very good job in preventing the advance of the pawns, although Black would probably still be much better even after a move such as E4. But this move is quite decisive. White plays King takes D2 and Black plays E4, and after removing White's key defender with a sacrifice, Black here just plans to simply roll his pawn forward, F4, F3, and followed by E3 check and E2. Here White played bishop F8. If he had tried C4 with the idea of playing C5 to block the bishop in, Black can simply play bishop D4. White has to move his rook out the way and then F4, and Black has the simple plan of moving his pawn forward and queening the pawns. In fact, Black is winning here. In the game, White actually played bishop F8. Black played F4 anyway, and after B4, White revealed his plan. The idea of bishop F8 was that if White had played B4 here, he would be blocking his bishop in. So White has to play bishop F8 first, and after B4, White can try to move back with his bishop and remove Black's strong bishop on B6. And it's a general rule that you should trade material when you're up on material, unless it compromises your position somehow. And here it shouldn't really compromise White's position to attempt to trade pieces. So this is the best plan he has. He must prevent Black's pawns from advancing. Here Black plays Rook G5, and he anticipates White's idea, and he has an exceptional idea of his own. White played bishop C5. He could have played C4 when either bishop E3 check or bishop D4 followed by shifting the pawns forward would have been good for Black. So White plays bishop C5, trying to trade off Black's very strong bishop, and this also undermines Black's defense of the F2 pawn. Actually, White can't take it straight away, because if, for example, he takes it with his rook, Black will play E3 check and fork the rook and king. But the general idea is to remove Black's very strong bishop. And here Black plays Rook takes C5, a very strong move. He has identified that the bishop on B6 is the key piece to help him win this game, and not the rook. So he decides to give up the rook for a bishop to nullify White's defensive plans. And here White played B takes C5. If White plays Rook takes F2, then Black simply checks the king and then takes the rook, and that would leave Black in an easily winning position. So White plays B takes C5, bishop takes C5, and now, despite White's huge material advantage, there's nothing stopping Black from advancing his pawns. Of course, White still has to find the best defense to try to save the game. White plays Rook AB1, Black plays F3, and here White plays Rook B4. If White tries to stand his ground by playing, say, Rook H1, Black is still winning. After King F5, he's going to march his pieces forward. He has plenty of time. And now if Rook takes B7, E3 check, King D3, E2, Rook BB1. So now Black can't queen straight away because White will simply take this queen, and Black doesn't have enough counterplay. In fact, black has a better move. He plays bishop e7, and there's nothing stopping him from playing bishop h4 followed by queening the pawn and winning white's 2 rooks and ending up a piece ahead, and that would be winning for black. So in the game, white tried a more active plan, rook b4, and here white is making the most of his practical chances by setting a trap, which is a good idea because even when you're losing, there's often some practical chances to get back into the game or to save a losing position by making a draw. Here obviously black should not take the rook because he's down too much material after c takes b4, and after king e5 white stops the pawns easily by playing king f2, and he's going to take the pawn on f2 with an winning position. Black plays king f5, he's not to be distracted. White plays rook d4, again interposing the rook, but this time black can calmly take the rook. Bishop takes d4, c takes d4, king f4, and white resigned here on account of there's no stopping black from queening his pawns with the simple idea e3, e2 and e1. Note here that rook takes f2 is met by e3 check, king e1, e takes f2 check, king takes f2, b6, when this pawn endgame is clearly lost. And this must be one of Kavalek's most memorable games. It teaches that sometimes a single piece can run the whole show despite a large material deficit. So the single piece being the bishop on b6, the dark squared bishop that supports black's advance of his kingside pawns, his central pawns. And my source for the analysis in this game is the mammoth book of the world's greatest chess games by Burgess, Nunn and Ems, which is a classic book in chess literature. Incidentally, the foreword for that book was written by Vishy Anand in 1998, who went on to become and still is the undisputed world champion since 2007. Thanks very much for watching this video.